Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. In this video I wanted to showcase some AFK stage pushing teams using TASI that I've seen in the records, and right now I'm actually stuck on two different stages. Well, actually one I can probably clear, but two stages I'm at right now which are using TASI in both of the recommended formations, which is pretty cool. And also is really interesting when we take a look at the talent stage formations. Basically, a lot of the formations are using Tailene, and I don't have Tailene built up, but there is a formation in the records not using Tailene, if we can find it, using TASI, and no Tailene on the second team. And so this is a team that, for example, if I had TASI built, I would be able to run it. So what I want to do is we want to take a look at these different replays. If we take a look at some other players, there are players using TASI on the second team as well. So definitely TASI is having some usage in AFK stages, which is really good to see. So if you've recruited for that is going to be one place where you're going to be able to make good use of her. Okay, so we're just going to take a look at the TASI replays. Okay, so the team is very interesting. It's using the lightbearer buff tiles and I guess Rowan to grant massive energy generation for your team, and then TASI. Okay, so this is pretty crazy for talent stages. Massive ultimate casting of TASI, and this is before TASI even has her mythic level magic charms to give her boosted ultimate power for a longer duration of her sleep. Okay, so let's replay this. All the enemies jump into us. Yeah, we have the Rowan and the TASI on the buff tiles in the back. TASI, I think, did they proc the Fluttering Dream? Fresto goes down, but enough energy for the TASI to cast her ultimate. She also has the resonating spell, which gives her a bit more energy generation. And now she's just going to begin dealing her damage, and Rowan is going to be cycling her ultimates. Wow, and she's already back up to 100%. So it's like going to be permanent lockdown team with lightbearer, double lightbearer buff tiles and Rowan. That's crazy. That's really crazy. Okay, we're going to take a look at the other team using TASI. But this is pretty insane. Like, if you're able to pull off this combo, and if the opponents are not unaffected, for example, heroes like Igor are unaffected, and there are other certain minions you fight which are unaffected. But if they aren't, this is permanent uptime of TASI's ultimate, even before gaining ultimate power from her charms, because also her shadow is casting right after her, and the damage is pretty high as well. It's like comparable to, not as much as Smokey's blue aura damage per second, but over time, if you can keep casting it like this, you can get off incredible amounts of damage. So this was 11 billion damage, all from TASI. The Fresto was only Supreme. The Fresto died right at the beginning of the match. I think Tamisa probably died pretty early on. It was just mainly for Rowan with the double buff tiles and TASI permanent ultimate casting. So that is crazy. Okay, let's take a look at Fingolfin. Is he running the same sort of strategy? Yeah, double buff tile, lightbearer comp with TASI. So this is, I think, where TASI is going to shine. So if you've recruited for her, this is where she's going to shine, at least for this season, with the talent buff tiles. The advantage of Cassidy is she can push back enemies. But again, I think she's just mainly here to have the 3 lightbearers so that you can gain the buff tiles. And now it's going to be permanent casting, right? TASI's first ultimate. There we go. How many seconds after does a clone cast the ultimate? Around exactly 2 to 3 seconds after, which is perfect, like syncing, because her sleep lasts for 3.5 seconds. One thing right there, Rowan didn't hit the TASI with his ultimate, the energy generation, but it doesn't even matter, because now TASI is dealing so much damage with her and the shadow version that she is charging her energy for herself. Here, Rowan should hit the TASI. Yeah, there we go. So Rowan hits the TASI with the ultimate, and Cassie just pushing them all the way to the edge. So this is crazy. So there is a now broken lightbearer double buff comp AFK stage pushing team using TASI. Yeah, so the Igor is unaffected, but it doesn't matter. The damage is also pretty high. Wait, but can he be put to sleep? Even if he's, I think he's unaffected from disability effects, but he's not being put to sleep, right? But still, somehow the damage is high enough to take him down to low enough health that they're now just going to kill him. If we can just move it to 2 times speed. Yeah, he has a lot of graves, but they will clean him up in the end. So this is insane. And this is going to be a great thing for you guys to shoot for. Even like we've seen that it's working with the Supreme level Forester without needing the Supreme Plus, even if Forester goes down. So this is quite a pull. You will be able to pull off this comp most likely if you can build up TASI. That's really cool. Okay, let's take a look at some more replays. Are there any more replays of the double buff tile on this map? Or the rest are using Talene teams? Okay, another TASI team. Here, Faye. Faye at just mythic level. Again, Rowan. And it's the same sort of team concept. So watch it again. Yeah, so this was with the first team. And this first team is actually really difficult. I can't clear this with any heroes I have. And I'm also 20 levels higher than the heroes which are being used here. If I had TASI, I would be able to use this comp. And I would be able to clear this AFK stage. Wow, okay, I'm happy. Because I wanted TASI to find a place. Because I really think her kit is pretty amazing. And when I was going over her kit, like, you know, when we were speculating on how meta she's going to be, I really thought she was going to be a meta hero. But for regular PvP, she just hasn't been doing enough. And takes too long to charge. But for these double buff tiles, at least for this season, with the lightbearers, she is insane. Okay, now this is the craziest showcase actually, because like she's just soloing everything. It's just her and Rowan versus the world, and it's permanent. Now it's going to be permanent uptime of her hypnotization. I don't think they're even going to wake up once because of how rapidly she's casting. Definitely resonating spell on TASI is important as well, because that gives her a bit of bonus energy gain each time your team casts ultimates, and also it gives her attack buff to increase her damage dealt. Because look at the damage per second. Not as much as Smokey's blue aura, but probably around about maybe a third of that damage. And because she can have basically permanent uptime of it, and Smokey can only have 10 seconds of it throughout the whole match, it's still going to be enough to kill even enemies at high deficit levels. Is there any other one? Okay, that was from, I guess, the previous season. Okay, but that's not all. Because even in the regular stages, without the double light buff tiles, TASI is working, which is really, I did not expect TASI to be doing so well in the regular, in the regular non without the buff tiles. But she's working in the Almas, Iron, Carolina, Temesia, and then finally just, rather than Arden, using the TASI here. And that's what I was thinking. I was thinking if anyone was going to be replaced in this comp, probably Arden would be the easiest to replace, because Arden has entangling vines after casting his ultimate, and TASI has the hypnotization after casting his her ultimate. And they both have some minor crowd control from their skills before casting their ultimate. But the thing is, Arden charges energy faster because when enemies are controlled, he charges his ultimate faster. TASI gonna go in for the stun in the back. And yeah, so Temesia is really important in this comp because she will repeatedly knock down enemies, especially when they're all grouped up, and gain value from Alamis's Mythic Plus. And of course, Iron is needed with any Alamis team. Okay, so it's basically permanent lockdown, and then it's just gonna now TASI. They've not been, the enemies haven't been able to do anything, and now TASI can go for her hypnotization and deal some extra damage to the opponents and have some additional crowd control. And they're just able to cycle the lockdown onto the opponents without needing the Arden here for additional support. But yeah, this is, so if you are watching here, on the regular stages, TASI still is not going to be casting your ultimate enough, and it's only a 3.5 second hypnotization. So honestly, I don't really think TASI is adding much to this team. Like, if you were running Arden here instead of TASI, it would arguably maybe even be slightly better or equivalent. So yeah, I think for regular stages, I don't necessarily think TASI is going to be game breaking, but it definitely looks like for the talent stages with that lightbearer comp, that seems insane. And honestly, I'm pretty tempted to actually try recruiting for her right now, but I'm not going to be able to even get her to Mythic Plus. I wonder if she is runnable even at Mythic Plus. I would imagine she would be, right? Because her Supreme Plus is only for the additional... Yeah, so if you want to use her only for PvE content, I guess the thing is if you don't take her to Supreme Plus, you're going to have lower stats from Ascension. But I think even Mythic Plus +10 exclusive equipment, it might be enough. I'm tempted to try that. I am really tempted to go for TASI now, because worst case we can just use a swap ticket on her. Let's see, but this is a really cool team and definitely something you guys should try if you recruited for TASI. And now this is a reason that you should not be feeling like regret if you have recruited for TASI, because after the PvP showcase, I don't know, I was unimpressed. But I think Supreme Arena, she's going to have potential uses with the buff tiles, and especially her Mythic Magic Charm bonus and AFK stages, talent stages specifically, she is looking pretty good. Like, I mean, she's kind of like if I had her, then I could just go around, I wouldn't have to be using these Talene teams. I could use one lightbearer team with the TASI, and then my second team could be the Iron, or like a Mauler team or an Iron team, whatever it might be. But this is really cool. Okay, really good reason to be going for TASI now. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. And I hope I need to pay more attention to see whether this is, like, you can run this team on every single stage. But it seems like this is a team that could be runnable on most stages. Unless the enemy has, like, is completely unaffected, or multiple enemies who are unaffected. So really cool team option. Definitely something to try if you've already recruited for TASI. If you haven't already recruited for TASI, still I would hold off on it. Let's see how meta or how relevant she is going to be for these stages, but I don't know, looks to be promising. So thanks for watching guys. That's gonna be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to talk to me more, ask me any questions, you can join my AFK Journey Discord server. There's a link to that in the description of this video. But thank you guys for watching. I'll hopefully see you in the next video, and until then, everyone, peace out for now.